Upon reflection, the video game industry is far removed from what it once was. In place of the heady coin-operated sweatbox arcades, we now live in a world of esports stadiums, insane sponsorships, and Doki Doki Literature Club. And to the people that got us from point A to column B, they're like f***ing rock stars, acting like a builder who's crafted a solid gold penis in that they are architects of wondrous pleasure. So let's take off our hats, wipe the crumbs off of our World of Warcraft t-shirts that we swear that we're wearing ironically, and applaud those that made the art of playing games such a f***ing art form in the first place. With this in mind, I'm JulesWhatCulture.com, and these are 10 people who changed the video game industry forever. Number 10. Marcus Notch Pearson. Minecraft. I could literally just end the entry with that. It is that much of a game changer. Whether you love it or hate it, you cannot deny that Notch and his team really have made an impact on the industry. Notch's brainchild is so special in that it has permeated into the popular culture and transcended the status of being just a creative video game, instead sitting as a trademark of its time. Its demographic is huge, and through the perfect storm of social media and marketability, it is available on pretty much everything with a screen. It's been so lucrative for Notch that he once outbid Jay-Z on a mansion. F***ing yes, mate. Number 9. Sundance Giovanni and Mike Sepso. Though their names might be new to you, Sundance Giovanni, what a f***ing name that is, and Mike Sepso founded Major League Gaming, one of the most recognized professional gaming and esports companies in the world. MLG became the first televised video game console league in the United States, and this inception has allowed dedicated gamers to turn a hobby into a vocation with huge cash prizes. Esports is still growing despite how insane it already is, but it would be set back much further without the early work put in by this pair. This basically redefined what it meant to enjoy video games and told you that watching, in some cases, was just as good as playing. Number 8. Gabe Newell. I mean, just look at this picture of him as the Pope and tell me that this man isn't important to the gaming community. Left 4 Dead, Half-Life, f***ing Steam. Imagine if we didn't have Steam. Well, actually, I'd have many less games that I hadn't played taunting me and a shit ton of money because of lack of Steam sales, but no, Steam is great. A marketplace unlike no other, with some questionable games, that's true, but a unified platform that is the most used amongst PC gamers. Sorry, I mean master race overlords. Steam might not seem like a monumentous shift, but trust me, without it and the collective weight it pulls, we'd be looking at a very different landscape. Number 7. Justin Kahn and Emmett Shear. Another progressive pair, Justin Kahn and Emmett Shear are the co-founders of the industry giant Twitch TV, the premier video game streaming site with over 45 million users. Like Major League Gaming, Twitch was another step on the path of growth. And a huge step on the ladder of progression. It did so much for millions of normal gamers who wanted to pursue video games in professional capacity, but weren't at the intense skill levels of the guys and girls within MLG. Twitch has become a vehicle for driving the medium on all fronts, changing the ways that gamers interact with each other, and even the way that games are played. A simple idea of just recording yourself playing video games, Twitch has become a globally recognized brand. Number 6. John Romero. Now, despite how f***ing terrible Daikatana was, you have to admit that John Romero was pretty cool for a fair old while. I mean, he is the legendary game designer who brought us classic shooters like Doom, Wolfenstein, and Quake. Doom, arguably Romero's most associated project, was met with immense popularity upon its release, with its success and design carving out a whole new gaming experience that hadn't been seen before. Being involved in over 100 projects during his career, Romero remains an inspiration to anyone who wants to get into video games for the sheer joy and passion of doing something they love, even if his later projects were more than a bit iffy. Romero changed games from being kid-friendly platformers to slicing up aliens with a chainsaw like a badass. And for that reason alone, we should all become his bitch. Ugh, that poster was terrible. Number 5. Sir Tim Berners-Lee. The World Wide Web has forever altered the paradigm of human interaction, and for that we owe one man. The only person on this list not affiliated with video games, Tim Berners-Lee can be credited with inventing the pivotal tool within the internet and giving birth to the information age. Modern gaming, along with almost every other piece of technology, pretty much relies on the internet to keep people connected, and without this chap we might only have the option to game with people around us in the same room, and we all remember how those nights used to end up smelling pretty bad. Number 4. Nolan Bushnell. Nolan Bushnell is the founder of Atari, the first company to realize what a lucrative opportunity, as well as creatively limitless business, video games could be. Bushnell is known mainly for being associated with the phenomenon Pong, and Bushnell's law, the idea of a game being simple to play but hard to master, which propelled this and many other titles to greatness. He quickly saw the potential of video games, that they could be more than killing time in the lobby at movies, and pursued the idea of getting video game consoles into households. And while they now are a shell of their former selves now that they've been bought out by another company that is just trading under their name, Atari still holds a massive weight in the market. There's a good reason why Atari is still known today, and that is because at one point they were the f***ing tits. Number 3. Gunpei Yokoi. Back when Nintendo still made card games, Yokoi made what came to be known as the Ultra Hand in his spare time, and it was from this invention that he was moved to the company's research and development division. When Nintendo shifted into the video game industry, he became one of their first game designers and went on to invent the concept of handheld gaming with the Game & Watch and the Game Boy. When he wasn't making new consoles, he worked with the legendary Shigeru Miyamoto on Donkey Kong and Mario Bros., conceived the idea of multiplayer gaming and the control pad, and was responsible for the Metroid series. Yokoi's unique development philosophy, dubbed lateral thinking with withered technology, gave him the mental dexterity and inspiration to come up with many ideas that we now take for granted. Basically, think of it this way: if you were chowing down on a piece of tasty gaming fruit, then Yokoi is the roots of the tree firmly planted into the earth. He is what we call a good boy. Number 2. Shigeru Miyamoto. No one has given more to gamers in terms of quality, nostalgia, and iconic characters than the legendary Shigeru Miyamoto. Miyamoto has created some of the most successful and critically acclaimed video game intellectual properties of all time, including The Legend of Zelda, Donkey Kong, and everybody's favorite plumber, Mario. It may seem a slightly simplistic reason to include him for being a really good game designer, but Miyamoto makes amazing games because of the philosophy he works with. He focuses on the fun and joy that the player could experience and their capacity to love what they're doing. After the video game crash in the 80s, Miyamoto stared in the face of adversity and gave the world Super Mario Bros. Nuff f***ing said. And number 1, Ralph Baer. One of the two men who vie for the title of father of video games along with Nolan Bushnell, the late Ralph Baer sowed the seeds of genesis for the industry, and without him, video games may never have existed. In 1966, he created the world's first home video game console, the Magnavox Odyssey, and is also credited with creating the light gun peripheral for home use. While he did clash with fellow groundbreaker Bushnell, Baer's work was revolutionary back in the 1950s and 60s, and while he didn't see the massive cash flow of his peer and followers, he laid the path, which is something we need to acknowledge and respect. And that's our list. Got any other industry game changers? Well, let me know about them in the comment section below. And why not swing by whatculture.com for more news and articles like this every goddamn day. As always, I've been Jules, you've been awesome, and I'll speak to you soon.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe below, and if you're looking for more content like this, then try a few things that are floating about around my ears. It might be fun. I can't promise it though, but it might be.